Hey, what's up guys? This is Nick from Nick Expose. On this episode of 2 Minute Tuesday, we're going to continue moving forward with this whole selling our work and making money from our artwork series. If you haven't seen the last two videos, I highly suggest going and checking those out. I'll link to them down below. But in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 common mistakes that I see other artists make over on Instagram, specifically when selling our artwork on Instagram. These are mistakes that I've made in the past and things that I've kind of adjusted and tweaked throughout the years, and has really drastically changed the game for selling my artwork, and then has helped other people when they start realizing that they shouldn't be doing these things to sell more artwork as well. So without further ado, we're just going to jump into it with common mistake number 1, which is giving too many options. One of the things that we think about when we go into selling our artwork is we don't necessarily know, if we've never sold artwork in the past or if we're working on a new body of work, what it is that people are going to want to purchase. So the common idea is going, hey, throwing up a post and going, hey, all the work on my Instagram story or all the work on my website is up for sale. If you want anything, just let me know. Or going, hey, I'll make any size print of any of these photos, just let me know and I'll give you the price for it. And this sounds like a good idea because we're given so many different options, and it really kind of opens up the door for people to purchase on whatever they want to purchase. But at the same time, there's something in sales called marketing paralysis, or numbers paralysis, or option paralysis. There's all sorts of different names for it, but it's the idea that once you start giving too many options, it puts people in a place where they're going, I just can't make a decision, and I also don't want to make the wrong decision, so I'm just not going to purchase at all. Or they'll put it on the back burner for later, but later never comes. So my suggestion is picking 3 of your favorite images, making prints, and dedicating like a single size for the print. Just do 4x6s or 5x7s or 8x10s or whatever it is. Just choose one size, choose 3 prints, and put them up for sale. I guarantee you, having less options will actually be a better thing for your buyers. Common mistake number 2 is having poor quality images of the products that we're trying to sell. Whether it be a zine, whether it be a print, take good photos of them. Have a good photo of your zine. I see so many people that either one, don't have photos at all, and they just put up a text block on their Instagram story going, hey, new zines available, go check out the link in my description. Or they're taking it with a quick little iPhone shot. They didn't clean off the lens on their iPhone, whatever it is. Just take good photos of your products. What I do with prints is I put them in a mat. Oftentimes I like to sell the prints in mats, so I put the matted print in a frame, I take the glass out of the frame, and I start photographing it in that way, so that way they could see it with a black frame around it. They could see what it will start to look like on their wall, in their space. So you could even hang your pieces on walls, put them up on a gallery like shelf like this behind me, and start displaying them in that way to where people can really kind of grasp what it's going to look like in their home space. Having terrible photos or no photos at all is really difficult when we're trying to sell visual products. So tip number 2 is make sure you're taking good, solid photos of the products you're trying to sell. Common mistake number 3 is actually built upon common mistake number 2 and then last week's 2 Minute Tuesday video about finding your target audience. And the common mistake is not thinking to the end goal of where's this product going to end up? Is it going to end up on their wall? Is it going to end up on their coffee table? And then starting to build either photos around that whole aspect, showing a zine on a coffee table, showing a zine next to, other books on a bookshelf, or showing the print up on the wall, and then thinking about who it is that would be placing that print on their wall. What kind of space would that print be going into? We talked about it last week on the 2 Minute Tuesday about thinking about, is it going to go into an office complex? Is it going to go into a hotel? Is it going to go into a dentist's office? Or is it just going to go up on someone's home office or home wall in their living room or whatever it might be? But thinking about where it's going to end up is going to, 1, tell us who we should be trying to sell it to, 2, how we should be photographing the pieces, and 3, starting to build that emotional response that we talked about 2 weeks ago in the 2 Minute Tuesday. So that's common mistake number 3, is not really thinking to the end goal of where it's actually going to end up. We only think about the zine or the print in general, but we really have to start stepping a little bit further and putting ourselves in a place of empathy and into the shoes of the buyer, so that way we could start thinking like them and start offering them what it is that they're going to really enjoy consuming. Common mistake number 4 is not giving a deadline or creating urgency. One of the things that happens within this world of consumerism is there's so many different things that are out there to purchase. There's lenses calling our names, there's t-shirts calling our names, there's food and just basic necessities calling our names. And oftentimes our prints, our zines will start to get sifted down into the bottom of the pile over time unless we give some sort of sense of urgency. That's one of the reasons why people print only a specific amount of zines or only a specific amount of prints, is giving this set amount of going, this is a print 1 of 5, there's only going to be 5 of these made, or there's only 100 of these zines made, or I'm only going to be selling this print for the next 24 hours, or it's only going to be at this price for the next 24 hours. But giving that sense of urgency will give them the confidence that they know that right now is the best time for them to hit that buy button and purchase that zine, that print, or whatever it might be. And then common mistake number 5 is not boldly asking for the sale. I see so many people putting it up on their Instagram story and going, hey, I have stuff for sale if anybody. No, put it out there, put your price up there, put your price up there boldly, confidently, and then just ask for the sale. Go, hey, I'm selling this print for $25. Hey, I'm selling this print for $250, whatever it might be, and then ask for the sale. Look them straight in the eye and just give them the ask. And I promise you, your confidence in asking for the sale will give them confidence in knowing that you're selling a good product line. I know for me personally, when I'm looking at other people's artwork and I'm considering purchasing a zine or a print or anything like that, when I see people not as confident to really push forward and ask for the sale, it makes me hesitant, thinking that, well, maybe they're not happy with the way that the product's turned out. Maybe they're not happy with how this image looks or anything like that. And it kind of puts me in a place where I start to back off and watch from afar versus pulling in and making the purchasing decision. So ask for the sale, put it out there boldly, ask confidently, and I promise you, you'll get that many more sales in the end. So if you've watched my videos in the past, you know that I like to give one more bonus tip at the end of these list videos. So I do have a 6th tip for you, and that's packaging your products well. One of the biggest things that will be a hindrance in people repurchasing from you is having a bad experience when the product arrives. If you didn't give proper packaging and proper protection to the print or the zine that you sold, and it comes in and it was damaged, sometimes there's no avoiding it. Sometimes UPS or USPS or whatever the mailing system just royally screws something up. But 9 times out of the 10, it's avoidable. And if you just package things well and give them a good purchasing decision, they will come back and purchase from you time and time and time again. I've had a lot of you guys who have purchased prints and zines from me over and over and over again, and I'm so humbled by that. But I also know it's partly probably because of the packaging that I do and the way that I present it to you when you get it. And I'm constantly trying to improve that, constantly trying to challenge that whole system on my end to be able to give you guys a purchasing experience. So anyways, these are the 6 tips to sell more work, and 5 common mistakes that have really held a lot of people back, and different things that I've talked through with other people, held people back, held myself back from selling more work overall. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'd love to hear your tips down below. Have you had experience with any of these 5? And is there any other things that you've really had to adjust and make kind of shifts within your own sales? I'd love to hear those down below. Leave any other comments and questions down below. We have a couple more videos in this sales series, so I want to hear your questions. What would you like to see addressed throughout the next probably 2 or 3 videos? I covered a lot of what I was going to cover in the other videos in this video. So leave any questions down below and we could kind of make some shifts moving forward and start answering some of you guys' questions. And then we're going to do a live stream later on today at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard here on YouTube Live, where we'll dive into these and then all sorts of other topics about selling our work, and then probably about creating our work in general. So we hope that you will join that conversation, and we look forward to seeing you over there. And then if you're new to the channel, go check out some of the other videos. I have tons of these 2-Minute Tuesdays that are oftentimes longer than 2 minutes, but give really, really good bite-sized chunks for us to really start chewing on and having a larger conversation as a community. But then we have tons of other videos about how to make zines, how to make camera straps out of leather belts, all sorts of stuff. Thrift store shopping for film cameras, that's an old one, but a good one. Go check those out. And then, yeah, like and subscribe down below. I'd love for you to be a part of this community as well. We have a recap video coming up in the next week or so, to where I'm going to talk about the last kind of month or so, because because there hasn't been so many videos coming out. I had a lot going on. We've done 2 different meetups. I'm going to recap those. Emily's had a show at her school for her thesis show for her master's program. I'm probably going to cover that and then talk about some other cool things that are going on and some other announcements that are coming up. So be on the lookout for that. I also want to give a huge shout out to our patrons, and everyone over at patreon.com/NickExposed who have joined in on that community. These guys are helping to support this channel on a monthly basis. A huge shout out, a special shout out to all of our executive producers over there. I'm going to link to all you guys right here and then down in the comments or in the description down below. So thank you guys for stepping up and supporting this. You guys are making this channel possible. You guys are making these meetups that I'm doing possible. I want to do so much more with the channel, with meetups, and really just take this thing to a whole new level. So if you want to support the effort, go over to patreon.com/NickExposed, and I really appreciate it. So anyways, I look forward to seeing you guys on today's live stream and then seeing you in the future episodes this week. I'm really trying to bust out a ton of videos this weekend, so be on the lookout. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I'll see you on the live stream. Until then, go and push yourselves 2 stops. Peace.